Hi, how's everybody doing? I'm voicing over what I did 2 days ago because it was so windy out when I got up onto the main road. We're going around the McDonald's here in Harbor Creek where Steve Stevens ordered food here at the McDonald's. He ordered right at this window right here, and he picked up half his order here. I think it was the fries. He was waiting on the McNuggets. He didn't want to wait around, so he comes up to pull out here, and one of the things is as he turns here, there was a policeman, a state trooper across the street there. In the original story, there was one trooper just happened to be there on his lunch. In year 2, there were 2 troopers now mentioned, and that's where I'm pointing there. In that area somewhere, Stevens comes by, the call comes in, he just happens to be there. Who knows what the traffic was like. And there was a security camera back, you'll be seeing it here in a second, where you see a glimpse of Stevens drive by and then one state trooper. We don't see a second trooper car. Now this is a bowling alley right there, you see in the background. And on the other side was a security camera somewhere back in there in those stores way back there. I rode my bike back through there before I made this video. It came to mind, and I couldn't find any cameras at kind of a low level to take any security footage. And when I go back to break it down, I'm going to break this down into 3 sections. We'll tour around back there and I'll ask around. I'll carry my camera and we'll record, ask some people, where's the camera? So Stevens now is on Buffalo Road here, and we'll be going about 2.2 miles, give or take. And I only had 15 minutes to do this video. Because that's all I can upload. I guess you have to pay to upload more than 15 minutes. So I was not going as fast as I could, but my glasses I have to wear at a slant because so I can see the screen. So I don't need my glasses, but I need them to see in a distance. Now as we come up here, we'll come to the first stoplight. One of the things I want you to pay attention to is the traffic flow and the number of traffic lights. I'm riding at about the same time of day that the event took place. I think I'm off by about 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes early. But it was the same type of weather, except it was on April 18th instead of May, whatever yesterday was, the 6th or whatever, 5th, or 2 days ago. So he comes up to this light, and supposedly he stops. I don't know if it's because of the light, and then he goes again. And we'll get into that when we break down the first part of the video. As you'll notice, I don't really stop for red lights. I just kind of zoom around. I'll be on the sidewalk sometimes on the road. We're in Wesleyville right now. It's a very small town. It's like Mayberry. I call it entering Wesleyville, leaving at Wesleyville, because it's so short on this road. And right up here to your left, I'll swing the camera around, and you can see the time on the clock there. I think it's 11, so we're pretty close to what Stevens saw. That's where the chief of police office is, Andy Taylor, because it's about the same size. He joins the chase. I don't know how much long after, if he even really joined, but it would be nice if we could get his camera, because he'd be following everybody else. So I'm riding through town here, and you can tell you get a lot of traffic here at this time of day, lunchtime, deliveries, this is the main road that goes, we're going west here back towards Erie. And right before the school, within a half mile maybe, we'll be in the Erie city limits, but right now we're in Wesleyville. Here's a key intersection. Route 430 goes to the left. That goes up to the interstate, I-90. And there's always a lot of traffic here. The lights are set. So, it's like a triangle type setup. So you can see how narrow the road is, just a small little town. And Stevens didn't appear to be speeding. As I'm riding up here, you'll see a country fair on the left-hand side here. That convenience store there. There's a sign there. On the other side of country fair, on the left-hand side, you'll see, I think it's like a service, auto service company. mechanic or whatever. And you'll see another clip in this area right in here where Stevens is being chased. And I didn't have time to go back in there and look for a security camera. I'll do that next time. Take a zip by there. So when I go to Harbor Creek, I take a different way. I'm up farther up south and I'm swinging back this way, so I don't want to retrace my steps here. So now, after they get through there, we'll hit an open spot and another light here. I just say, the heck with it, give me a ticket. There was no traffic coming, don't worry, I can see. In this area road, just a little minor industry. There's a school up here on the right hand side. I think it's St. James Elementary School, something like that. A fire station there on the other side. So you could see that there's enough traffic. I'm sure it varies day to day, but it's probably the same thing. If you took an average over a year, you'd have the same type of traffic. And that comes into play here as we get closer to the school. We're not even quite halfway. At the 10-minute mark of this, that's when I reach the school, and I'll ride my bike over towards the school, and where Stevens was hit by the other cop car. And one of the reasons I'm doing this voiceover, I'm not talking that much in this ride, but you can't hear me. And I should have done this in the first place, but I didn't realize I could do this voicing over, and it helps because I didn't want to retrace my routes and redo it and wait for another nice day, because we're not going to have nice weather until Sunday or so. So just enjoy the ride. This is kind of rare, I can't think of anybody else that's done this, that got on a bike, ride a short route where you had what I think is a staged event, and a few other people. We're almost near the end of Wesleyville, and I'm riding not real fast, but fast enough, because I'm keep saying to myself, you got to get there within 15 minutes. And this gas station over on the left, I'm surprised they didn't use video from there. They get robbed a lot. We're out of Wesleyville now. I think we're into the Erie city limits on the far east side. In this area here, you can tell by the homes, it's kind of low income. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. People wouldn't think. They just think it was a car being chased by a police, but it wasn't at a top speed. This intersection's key because there was a 911 call from this intersection, like at 11:09, and they won't release the 911 calls. So there's probably just a fake call. And I got a lot of information on people involved in this, and I'm just saving it for the more detailed videos. Hey, it's a teaser, I want people to watch this. And don't worry, I don't charge donations, I don't ask for donations or any of that. I don't believe in that. I'm doing this all from my heart. I'm very concerned that they keep pulling this stuff off and people don't see it. We're getting closer to the school here. I ride through here once every 10 days, if that. Well, maybe once a week when the weather gets nicer. I have 3 different routes that I can take from where I live, and I come through here, so I'm very familiar with it. And when this happened, I was at a grocery store in a cafe, and they came up and said, it's in Erie County. He was spotted. And then word spread that he was at a McDonald's, but they had the wrong McDonald's. And the McDonald's they had was farther up this road here, and owned by the same owner, but it was the other McDonald's, of course. So we're getting a little bit closer here. I'm glad it was a nice day. I waited 2.5 weeks to make this because every morning was like fog and rain, and I'm riding downhill 12 miles basically to get to Harbor Creek. Some level areas going east and west, but it's cold. You can't wear your winter jacket or you sweat too much, even if it is kind of cold. We're coming up here to the scene of the school. There were 4 troopers involved in the chase, and just by chance I was told by a source who talked to the management of McDonald's that lady that called the 911 was one of those officers' wives. So her last name can only be one of four, and nobody will tell me. It's very quiet. So we're coming up here to the school, right after this red house. Now Stevens is coming, so Officer Van Horn will perform a pit maneuver where I have no idea how he got in position, but he hits the driver's side door. And imagine my bike being Stevens' car in a way. Well, here we're looking at the field that was taped off. Now I'll cross. So right in here somewhere, it's like I get hit. How the officer got in that position to hit him, and now I'll come to a stop, and you can hear my voice in the original here. But right where this sidewalk is, it's right in the middle of the school, and I think where the sidewalk is white there, it's kind of a marker. In between there, they said, let's have that happen here. Now they had duct tape set up. In the original, I said that sign there. I wasn't mentioning that sign. There's a real estate sign farther down the road on the right-hand side. There's a sign down there past the fencing. Now they had tape set up by the bleachers there. Across, there's a football field down there, all the way to the woods. All the way down there, you can see the sign on the right-hand side. There's a side road there that goes up to the left. That's where they had it taped and where the interviews were. And up here where that intersection was, maybe where the house is there, they had yellow tape. And a reporter for the Erie Times was there. 3 crisis actors came under that tape into a crime scene. I told her about it. Never got a reply back. Steve Stevens was declared dead at 11:30 a.m. around there by the Erie County coroner, and they didn't take him out of the car till the late afternoon. I wonder why. That's strange. Wouldn't they just take him to the morgue? Let the Cleveland police, I guess they were waiting on Cleveland police. It doesn't take that long in Cleveland. But people where that White House is there on the left, people were standing there. The crowd was down there. So it was well sectioned off. And oh, wait a second here. There was one more thing. Try to sync it here. But anyways, at the other side, as we pan around here, I think I walk up. And down at the end of the road there, way down there, you'll see like a White House, way down there on the right-hand side, way down there. Well, the road veers to the left. There's a CVS, and I bet they had that blocked off. Maybe road construction, something there nobody would notice, so that nobody could be going east. That's one of the theories I have, and I'll get into it. And I think we're getting about out of time here pretty soon. But I'll end this here. That's where I paused. I made a mistake. I was trying to figure out what I was saying about Steve Stevens in the car, and why they didn't take him out. You may have noticed the yellow raincoat. I think they put that on there. It's like a tarp raincoat because a helicopter came in from Cleveland, and they didn't want them zooming down in. And all the pictures from the local paper were taken back there by those trees of Stevens' car. They're all very strategic positioning of the camera. You really don't see in there. And the Erie Times wouldn't answer my questions. Well, anyways, I'm going to let you go here. Hopefully this is a lot better, and I'll be coming up with the beginning part in detail soon. Take it easy.